Morning, everybody. My name's David Hughes. I'm a director at Excitech, and welcome to Westminster Hall, fabulous location, and our 2015 BIM Roadshow. There is a Twitter feed, hashtag BIM Roadshow 2015, for those of you involved or engaged or want to participate, hashtag BIM Roadshow 2015. So let's just tell you a little bit about us. I'm sure a lot of you know us already, but Excitech's been going for 30 years. We're an Autodesk Platinum reseller, but we do lots of other things too. We deal with building products manufacturers, designers, architects, contractors, and importantly these days when we're talking about BIM, facilities managers. And we help companies in a number of different ways. Of course, we supply various different bits of software, but we also help with consultancy, building capability with supporting people with training programs. We look after customers' IT, building the right infrastructure for the new bits of software that are coming around. Data management is something with the CDE, Common Data Environment, that we're involved with at the moment. Team of consultants working on projects, ensuring that we remove waste and be compliant to BIM protocols, etc. So a number of different ways that we help companies. Before we kick off with the detail of the rest of the day, I just wanted to take us up a level. We talk a lot about BIM and protocols and standards and software and clicks and a lot of technical stuff, which we'll get into today. But I just wanted to put it in context to these sort of 5 big things, really: safety, quality, delivery, cost, and people. So safety first. No excuses or no reason why we wouldn't have safety first. And we're thinking about not just typical safety in construction on site, but how do we design with safety in mind? And how do we operate with safety in mind? And I think a lot of companies are finding these days that if you focus on safety, then actually a lot of benefits spin out from that. So no excuses for putting safety first. Quality. You know, we know in the environment that we work in, there's multiple amounts of rework, particularly with materials, but also increasingly with information. So how do we make sure we get right first time quality in everything that we do, in materials and information? Clients are becoming increasingly aware, increasingly informed, and they don't want to pay twice for us doing things. So how do we get right first time quality? Delivery. We need to get it right first time and on time. We all hear the horror stories about things being a year delayed. Increasingly, again, there's demands for us to hit our commitments. Not just hit the end game, but actually hit our milestones all the way through. So how do we make sure we deliver on time? And of course, those things, safety, quality, delivery, will impact on cost. And cost being an opportunity for us either to be more competitive or more profitable. So we have to focus on those 3 things, helping us to reduce our costs. And of course, we won't do any of those things without people. People in terms of capacity, but also capability and engagement. And I think as we change, and BIM is a catalyst for change, this is perhaps a little bit under-resourced in terms of the challenges that we face as leaders in terms of engaging our people. So we won't make these things happen unless we build good teams and have strong collaboration and people with the right thinking. So we'll get into some technical stuff, but these are big themes that actually we can't lose sight of. We're doing things for a reason, and these are some of the reasons. So let me give you just a quick flavor for the day. Last year, we sort of quite high level, we did a roadshow called Design, Build, and Manage Better, and we were talking about some of the processes. This year, we're going down a level, and we're getting into some of the technicalities of building a model. And we're going to take a journey through the rebus stages, from strategic definition all the way through to handover and use. And we're going to look at how those stages work, what information moves when, and how do we build the information into those models. So a lot more technical than we've done previously. So we're going to launch a new project. We're going to listen to the client's engagement with the developer, then into the design stages, then into construction, the contractor's bid, how we win the work, and then hand over, and then we'll listen to the client again at the end in terms of has he got what he wanted, which is critical. In between that, we've got a networking session. Lots of people here, and we felt it was a great opportunity for people to work together, talk together, meet each other, make some new friends, some new contacts. So that's going to be part of the day too. We'll probably finish around about 3 o'clock, some Q&As, and we'll have coffee and tea at the end if you want to keep talking or grab any of us. So we're going to be telling a story today. And without further ado, we need a narrator to help us through that journey. So I'd like to introduce Clive, who's going to be our narrator for the day. Thank you. Clive.
Thank you, David. Good morning, everyone. My name's Clive Atkinson, and I'm one of the sales managers at Excitech, and welcome to our BIM Roadshow. As David said, today we're going to be taking you on a journey through a project right from strategic definition and preparation and brief right the way through to handover and in use. And to help us map the day, we're going to be aligning our project with the RIBA Plan of Work 2013. A quick show of hands, how many people use the 2013 plan for managing projects? Okay, so quite a few, so a lot of the stages will be familiar. We've produced a short animation just to help guide us through the day, and this will be a sort of theme that we will come back to from time to time. As you can, collectively, we're all going to jump in our car. Today it's a particularly big car, and we're going to take a journey, let's say, through those initial stages into the 3 design stages, concept, developed, and technical, before moving into construction, and on to handover, and finally in use. There we go. Okay, as you'll see on our journey, on our map, we've got some additional roads on there for future use. So we've got that link that takes us around the refurb route. So for example, if our client at some stage in the future needs to repurpose or refurbish some of the building, he can take that loop round and come back into the technical design stage. Alternatively, if in the future he needs to do a further major development, then he can take that journey all the way back to strategic definition. So what we're going to do today is take each of those stages and just have a look at some of the technologies and the tools that underpin the processes as we go through those stages that can be used to deliver some of those sort of high-level drivers that David spoke about. So quality, time saving, safety, and ultimately cost. The other thing we'll be doing through the day is, and clearly it wouldn't be a BIM Roadshow without this, we'll be looking very closely at the data, how that data moves through those stages, how it goes from stakeholder to stakeholder, and how it becomes enriched at each stage, finally ending up back with the client, ready for him to make best use of his shiny new asset. A small disclaimer for the day. As David said, we're going to be looking in a little bit more detail at some of the tools and the technologies, and therefore we're clearly not going to be able to look at all of those taskbars that sit below those that RIBA Plan of Works. So, for example, we're not going to have time to look at the contractual relationships between the stakeholders. We're not going to have time to go into detail about planning. We are going to assume it's a wonderful world where planners are really happy with the project that we're proposing. There are no delays. Everything just goes smoothly in parallel with those design stages as they take place. Okay, we're going to start off at stage 0, which is our strategic definition stage. And so to help us look at that stage, we're going to have a client. We're really lucky today because we have a very, very well-informed client, and you'll hear from oh, I'm going to dial the clock back. Before we just go into that, I'll take you through the rest of the cast. So we have our client we're going to hear from in a second. We have Nick Johns, our developer for the day. We have an architect. If he's fortunate and gets appointed, we'll have Michael Johnson taking us through the design stages. And finally, Steve Rudge is going to be our contractor for the day, taking us through that construction phase. One more thing to point out. On the top right-hand side of the slide deck, you'll see the little logo, which is the road journey. As we go through the day, each stage will be highlighted, so it'll be crystal clear where we are at each stage. And some of the material will be made available after the event, so that you'll be able to, if you use this material back at base, you'll be able to see where we are in those stages as we go through the day. Okay, stage 0, strategic definition. Apologies, this is where we're now going to meet Paul Mason. We are lucky today in that Paul is a well-informed client, and we'll see why in a minute, but he uses some tools to manage his existing assets and manages those very effectively. Paul runs a reasonable size legal firm up in North London, and he's had some great news. He's won a contract. The challenge is, with that contract has come some accommodation challenges. So without further ado, I shall hand over to Paul, and we'll hear all about them.
Thank you very much, Clive. Yeah, good morning. My name is Paul Mason, and I'm a director of a highly successful legal firm known as Sure Thing Solicitors. It's the start of the fairy tale, but you get the idea. Okay. We're located in a medium-sized business park up in Enfield on the northerly section of the M25. We were founded in 1985. We currently employ roughly 200 people, and we've been quite successful. We have some very large contracts and clients in that area. We tend to specialize in the logistics business because there's a lot of distribution centers up in that area. And sometimes we deal with some very classified and sensitive information on behalf of our clients. But we've had some good news. We've recently secured a major contract with another distribution company, and that has guaranteed us a contract running for approximately 5 years. But this success really means that we're expanding, and we are expanding quite rapidly. And we reckon that we'll expect to take on somewhere in the region of 50 new staff in the next 18 months. It's very good to be successful, but that causes us a problem with our space allocation. So, let's show you the existing building. This is our existing building. It's approximately 10 years old. It's approximately 2,200 square meters of usable floor space. As I say, it's located at an Enfield Business Park. It's got plenty of parking, very good communication links when the traffic's not gridlocked in that area. We're close to a couple of stations, and we also have good communication links to Stansted and London City Airport. But importantly, most of our clients are also in that area. We're quite happy with this existing building. It suits our current needs. I'll explain how we've arrived at this figure, but we estimate that we need another 2,200 square meters of office space for our expansion. So what do? Do we extend? Do we go up? Do we go for a new build? We've got some problems, basically. We need to look at the options of how we solve our accommodation problem. But this location, just to repeat, we're happy with it. We'd like to stay where we are. Ideally, I think the plan would be that we would like to extend the building to get that additional space. We do have budget. We put together a budget of roughly £4 million to carry out this project. But here's the crux. We need this project up and running in the next 10 months. So it is a pretty tight schedule. So in summary, the new building must be approximately 2,200 square meters of space. It's got to have good transport links, plenty of parking. The space needs to be flexible, new ways of working, hot desking, working away from the office, etc. We need a welcoming reception area with a high-profile sort of reception. We need an informal breakout area for our staff to work as well. We reckon that we need somewhere in the region of 15 secure meeting rooms for meetings with our clients, and 50 new workstations or desks, and possibly another 20 flexible workstations for hot desking. The building needs to be modern construction, easy to maintain, and energy efficient. Now let me show you how we manage our existing properties. We utilize a computer-aided facility management solution. Here I'm showing you a screenshot of our planned maintenance schedules, but the system that we're using is a combination of a tool called FX360 combined with a fast-track help desk and plan maintenance system. So this is a screenshot of our plan maintenance schedule, but the system is also used to track space allocation, employee allocation to workstation. It's an asset tracking system. We plan our asset moves and our people moves using the FM system as well. We also use it for capital budgeting and managing our facility costs. It has a strategic master planning module as well. We also have this reactive help desk, which is web-based. So our staff can create requests, and they have a problem in the building, they can go online and create this a request themselves using a web interface. But the CAFAM system really is recorded to track and manage all our assets during the building lifecycle process. We've been in this existing building for 10 years, and our asset management system is fully configured. So it's quite important moving forward with whatever we do in a new building or an extension, that the asset management system is actually populated from whatever we do into our existing data. We also use a system to track the condition of the current buildings and properties, to manage our maintenance costs and redecoration, reconfiguration costs moving forward. And our existing building, this is a screenshot of FX 360, we've already spent somewhere in the region of 2.3 million on maintenance and reconfiguration. So over the life cycle, that 10-year life cycle, we do expect to spend quite a fair outlay on the existing building. We also track and manage all the space utilization within our organisation, the use of the desks, and also meeting room booking. So we can track proactively how those meeting rooms are utilised, and we never really have enough meeting rooms in our existing building. But if I quickly show you, this is a video just showing workspace utilisation. We've also used technology to track the utilisation of those desks. It can be workplace sensors to detect someone's actually at the workstation, or there's other technology which can be used via the laptops or via the networking, which would indicate whether those workstations are occupied or not. And what this is telling us is that during a general week, we are seriously running out of space. So even in our existing building, we have a problem. With our expansion, that situation is only going to get worse. FX360 is also used to track all the existing space allocations. That information is recorded accurately through that CAFAM system. And we can use these existing space allocations in combination with a strategic master planning module to project future projections moving forward. So this graph here, if you look at the lower graph, the green area represents our projected headcount based on our business expansion. The single line is representing the available space that we have in our properties. So you can quite clearly see, if we stay in our existing properties around about the end of 2016, beginning of 2017, we will have problems with running out of space. So the FX360 system, our CAFAM system, can be used to carry out and manage those projections on various scenarios moving forward. So this is how we've arrived at the figure of the additional 2,200 square meters of space. It's not a guess. We've seriously modeled up the requirements in our system. So in summary again, we are looking at 50 workstations, permanent workstations, and 20 hot desks. We need an open presentation area, between 8 and 15 meeting rooms, and the associated support space to go with that space requirement. So, also asset management. We utilize the system for existing facility management, reactive help desks, and planned maintenance. That's important to us because we can't manage what we're not tracking. The FX system, combined with a fast-track help desk, is used to monitor and record all the reactive and planned maintenance work carried out within our properties. As I say, the system is fully populated. Our existing data is all up and running. It records all the work and all the costs associated with those maintenance exercises. So, in summary, we have a problem. We're running out of space. On a typical working day, you can see our building, a bit exaggerated, but our building gets overcrowded. We're running out of space. We need a new facility or an extension. So we need 2,200 square meters of space, approximately double our current portfolio. We like the look and feel of our existing building. We'd like something really, ideally a duplicate or an extension of that existing building on the current business part where we are, because that's important to us to be near our clients. It's got to be modern construction. We have a £4 million budget, and it's got to be ready for occupation in the next 10 months. So, really, we need help. Can't carry on in that existing building. We need to employ a developer or engage a developer and get things going and look at our options moving forward.